The only guy, by the way, guys, if you guys get a chance, do me a big favor. How about a big prayer for Dean Delray and his family, man? He lost his mom last week, and I've been talking to him every day. Nothing bothers me more than when somebody loses a mom. Nobody. And I've been telling you this, motherfuckers, for 11 years since I got on the podcast. The other night I woke up in the middle of the night, and I just checked the Instagram, and I saw that his mother had passed. And guys, I couldn't even sleep the rest of the fucking night, because I know Dean. I know Dean, and I know what his mother meant to him. And I thought he was in L.A., so I got up the next day early, and I knew at 12:01 I was going to have a phone into Dean. I called him like 11:30 just to see, and he was in Florida. And I felt a lot better. I got to talk to him, so he'll be in Florida for the next couple of weeks. He lost a parent at the beginning of the fucking year. What a way to start a fucking year. So if you find it anywhere in your heart, light a candle from Say a Prayer. Send him something, candles lit, say something to him. He'll appreciate all of it, man. And he got it cremated. I would have sent flowers or gone down there to see Dean. The good thing about Dean is he's doing the last show with me at the fucking Sony Theater on the 29th. He's coming up. So I told him, your family, when you clean up all that mess down there, shoot up straight here. Let's hang out for a few days. Leo come, Mike will come, and we'll have a fucking dynamite time. I had a great fucking weekend this weekend. Not jumping up and down weekend type, I got my dick sucked or I ate 2 Quaaludes. It was a very different fucking grateful weekend. I thought that by me getting older, I was going to turn 60, that I'd be more concerned with me turning 60. I'd be depressed, or I'd have to talk to a therapist, and I tell you guys, it hasn't been anything like that. Like the countdown, I haven't even really thought about it. It's just a number, for me. I'm not even, I feel great. I'm not in pain anywhere. My knees feel better. Like I said this last week, I had one of the best weeks of my life because, guys, listen, I've done a lot of bad things, but I've done a lot of good things. Things that should have made me feel really good about what I was doing. And I did for the time being. You book a fucking Many Saints. Anything is when you're an entertainer, a performer, when you get off stage and you have a great set, you're really grateful. You're like, wow, I can't believe I fucking did that or whatever. Last week I went to jiu-jitsu twice, blue belt class. I've been going to that place for maybe 15 months now. And I've been eligible to go to blue belt class for maybe 6 months now, maybe 7 months. And every week I always catch a core class. I'll catch a blue class and maybe 2 fundamental classes, which are like drilling classes. And I can live with that, But something always bothered me. I'm like, dog, I can't make 2 blue classes. I'm getting too old. The blue classes are a little, who's ever teaching them, they're a little deeper. You do a little bit of rolling. You do a lot of live rolling, like starting from back or starting from the turtle or starting from side control. And there's a lot of movement. You drill a lot, So you go up to burn over 500 calories. You know what I'm saying? You'll fucking burn it, 600, 700. And usually if I do it Tuesday, I'm dead till fucking Friday. Like it's over, Joey. Like you're in no danger. I'll catch the class Friday, so I'll go Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And sometimes I'll go Tuesday, sometimes I'll go Monday, and I'll fuck around in Monday class, and I'll get sore, and then I won't be back till Thursday, and then I finish off the class strong with Friday. So I never really do 2 blue belt classes. Last week, I did 2 blue belt classes. And I got to tell you something. I felt more proud of that than fucking doing a Netflix special. Like, I was like, was I this happy when I did my Netflix special or the other special for the Scotch Odds? No. This makes me fucking happy. Like, I was fucking walking on air for 2 days. Like, I went to 2 blue belt classes this week. Good for Uncle fucking Joey. Yeah, and I'm telling people, like on the Patreon podcast, I told people that it's the little things. Like I see all these motivation shit on Instagram, and these guys are showing you watches with 20 million pieces of diamonds, and they're showing you driving up to a fucking plane, and they're telling you you're dead if you don't do this and shit. You know, and so now it leaves you going, well, nothing really happens big in my life until I get a watch with Eddie Millen fucking diamonds on it, or nothing's going to happen unless I fly in a private jet. I'm flying in a private plane, smoking a cigar, eating fucking food by myself, showing you how important I am. That's what I told you about before, like that whole thing that was going on with Tom. You know, that people like, I know for me, I would feel insecure. If I'm trying to make striving and you're showing me fucking pictures of a watch with 28 fucking diamonds, in my world, when I was 20, 22, 25, I'd be insecure. When I'm 35, I'm like, yeah, that's what I get. I'm a piece of shit for not fucking working, and this is what I get, you know. But nobody ever tells you about the little accomplishments, how you get to being grateful for that fucking watch, or how you're grateful for sitting in the back of a private plane with a cigar and telling your story to people, whoever gives a fuck, you know. But it starts with little things, guys. It doesn't start with a fucking $80,000 watch. Like, this is my watch. This is what you should be working for. No, you should be working for the little things. And I thought of this last week, like how happy I felt on Friday. I couldn't even tell my wife, like, you don't understand, I did 2 blue belt classes this week. Like, I was just so grateful. But I was grateful, but at the same time, I'm like, this is what I've been saying for years. Little steps become big steps. That's it. It took me a fucking year to do. Hey, it might take you 6 months. Joey's a loser, but I did it. And next week, I might do 2 blue belt classes and a core class. And the week after that, I might do 2 blue belt classes and a black belt class. But I'm on my way. And people don't celebrate the little fucking things, man. I swear to God, because we live in such a pressure fucking world anymore. Like, you gotta drive a Maserati, and you gotta have a blonde with fake tits, and you gotta be able to smoke a cigar in the back of a private plane. And when they tell you these things, they tell you in a condescending type of way to make you even feel worse. And I look at this and I'm like, these people, no wonder we're fucking crazy, because we don't even know how to celebrate the little fucking things anymore. Everything's got to be a Maserati. How are you going to go from driving your fucking bicycle on Martin Luther King Boulevard to driving a Maserati? Can somebody please fucking tell me that? Unless somebody leaves you a lottery ticket with $18 billion, it's basically impossible. You're going to have to take little fucking steps along the way. Maybe a Yugo or a fucking, what's those electric cars, those Priuses? There's got to be something. No, you're not going to go from a fucking skateboard right to a goddamn Maserati. So that's why I was looking at that, and I was looking what happened to me last week, and I'm like, this is what happens to people. This is why people aren't satisfied in their lives, because they're waiting for the big ship to come, and they never celebrate the little crab boat that might show up and give you a piece of sushi. You're like, he showed up and he just gave me a piece of sushi. Who else is giving you a fucking piece of sushi? It's like I tell my wife whenever I go, we get any checks today? She's like, yeah, you got a check for $1.39. I go, who sent you a check today, cocksucker? Nobody sent you a fucking check today. I got a check for $1.39. That's a lot better than anybody else is doing for anybody. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, it was fucking great, man. I can't believe I got to do it at 60, you know, so fuck it. The sky is the limit. Age is just a fucking number, and you got to go for better yourself. Everybody would think by now I'd be saying, well, I'm going to go into an arena, and I got no interest for any of that shit. That ship fucking sailed. Another thing that happened last week was my daughter turned 10. My daughter's birthday was officially yesterday, the 8th of January. The reason why I gave you that fucking ear beating about turning 60 is because I thought I'd be concerned with turning 60. Like, oh, I'm 50 days away from turning 60, this and this and this. That's what I have been thinking about. I'm like, that's what I'm going to concern myself with until about midweek, until about Wednesday. And I'm like, holy fuck. Mercy is going to be 10 years old. And I thought about a conversation my wife and I had when we started dating, and I thought about a conversation. No, not even a conversation. I thought about what I was thinking. remember my wife and I having a talk one night. She had a couple cocktails in her. I'd had a couple lines of coke in me. I remember we were trying to talk, but I kept looking at the bottom of the door because I was paranoid. I kept seeing somebody walk by the door thing. I'll never forget this night. And she was telling me concerns of her thinking she wouldn't be able to have a child again. We weren't even talking about us having children. We were just talking about, we had just met. They'd been together 10 months. Nobody's going to want to have a kid with me after 10 months or nothing. And we were just talking about concerns. And she was telling me that she just didn't think it was ever going to happen for her, you know, her childhood, where she was from. And I remember telling her, like, this is what happened to me, you know. I failed as a dad. I fucking failed. I failed, you know, and so I have no fucking interest. I have no interest. The only interest I have with kids, if Mike wants to bring his kid over to watch a football game, we'll watch it or play shoot pool. I had no interest for a child. So I committed to comedy, and she committed to her fucking life, and somewhere along the line we met in the middle, and I got my shit together. I stopped doing drugs, and I fucking proposed to her, and then, I don't know, 4 years later she came up fucking pregnant, and again I had my doubts. I knew who I was, and I knew what I had done before, and when she told us she was pregnant between me and you guys, I gave myself a year with her. I'm like, after she has the child, I'll probably give her about a year to realize what everybody else in my life has realized, that I'm damaged goods. I'm not going to be any good for this child. This is not going to be any good for me, and it's really not going to be good for you. And I remember her being about 7 months, and we were at a place called The Habit. It's like a cheeseburger joint. Not the best cheeseburgers. It was the only thing we had in Studio City. They had like a nice chicken sandwich or something. We were over there eating one day, and she was explaining to me, you know, about her child and all this. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you money for the kid. I love you to death. I'm going to love this kid, but I can't tell you my involvement with this child.